Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a Valentine's Day makeup look for you guys. I know it's a little bit early, but I had some time and I wanted to get this filmed and not wait until last minute. So today, that's the look that I'm going to be doing. I kind of wanted to make it how I would do my makeup if I were going out on Valentine's Day. Unfortunately, it falls during the weeknight and I work evenings during the week. And so does my fiance. So we'll have to do lunch, brunch or something. So Galen, if you're watching, let's do brunch. Okay? So I kind of wanted to do like a pink vibe that kind of screams Valentine's Day, but not like super glam. I did a poll on my Instagram to see if you guys wanted like a more natural look or like a glam look, and natural definitely won. So I'm just going to do like a soft, pretty makeup look. So let's just go ahead and get started. I'm going to actually do my eyes first this time. I haven't done that in so long just because I feel like I used to do like full blown out eye makeup all the time, and like now I really rarely do. So I don't even know what to do half the time anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and put my concealer on my eyes, and I'm going to go into my concealer palette. I have the RMS Uncover Up in the shade 11, and that's this shade here in the middle. So I just take my Real Techniques setting brush, and I'm just going to quickly take that over my eye. It gets rid of the dark circles that I am seeing that are so bad right now. So we're going to cover that up. I already have my moisturizer on. I am going to be putting a primer on after I finish my eyes though. So again, this is the shade 11 in the Uncover Up. And just putting a little bit down to cover up. Hence the name. I have quite a few palettes that I'm going to be like picking through. I know that's not like the easiest thing to follow along whenever you watch makeup tutorials. It's kind of nice if like for eyeshadows you're just using one palette and things like that, but I'll be dipping back and forth between a few, so I'm sorry about that. But there were just different colors that I had like an idea of that I wanted to use. So that's it. We'll go straight into the eyeshadow. The palettes that I'm going to be using are the Beauty Counter Romantic palette, and I just thought this was really a great option for Valentine's Day. I really like this shade here for a transition. We've got these pretty shimmer shades here as well as this one, and then a beautiful highlight shade there in the center. So I'll be dipping into this one, and then I also have the Beauty Counter Necessary Neutrals palette, which is just fantastic. Can't not use it. So I'll probably go into these shades here, maybe a little bit over into the browns, just to kind of add definition with those brown tones. But I don't know, I don't like playing with this row right here. So let's just start and see where it takes us. So I'm going to start off with a huge fluffy brush. This is a Morphe M504, excuse me. And I'm going to go into the shade Buff in the palette. It's like a very light pink shade. And I'm just going to set that down all over my lid and up towards the brow bone to set the concealer so the other shadows go over that nicely. I have not played with these colors yet, so I'm really excited. So not being precise, just laying that color down. And then I want to go in with another matte shade, and that's where I wanted to pull from the Beauty Counter Romantic palette, and it's the shade Brulee. This is just a great transition color, so that's what I'm going to be using it for next. And I'm going to go into, let's see, my Morphe M441 brush. The M441 and the M433 are my two favorite brushes for eyeshadow. So I'm just going into that palette, tapping off the excess, and I'm like, my mirror is right here in the corner, and I'm like looking down and up at the same time, if that makes sense, like down with my eyes and like up with my head, and that is giving me access to the brow bone area, like right where your eyeball sinks in, right back in there. That's where I want to put this color. And using windshield wiper motions, holding the end of the brush, not close up to the front. And same thing on the other side. This color puts definition into the crease, and it's kind of like a, I don't know, like a pinky brown. It kind of reminds me of like a clay shade. See how my makeup looks recently have just been super simple. Even when I've been going out on the rare occasion that I do, it's a super easy makeup look. So this is what it looks like so far. Now I know why I like to do my face makeup first, because I just feel like the eye look never gets pulled together until like the very end. So add a little bit more on this side here. And I'm gonna bring it up a little past that area, just so there's a good flow between all of the shades I'll be putting down. Okay, then using a smaller brush, I am going to go into the outer V with that. And I'm going to use my Morphe M433 to do that. So it's kind of flat on one side, so I'm going to take like the flat end of it, and then I'm going to put that right here in the outer V. And kind of bring it up into the crease to blend it all together. So I just deepen it up a little bit on that corner. Same thing here. Do you guys have a favorite eye to do eyeshadow on? Because I do. And it's not this eye. Same with my eyebrows. My left side's my good side. Like, that's the side that I like just in general. So I hate doing eyeshadow on my right eye. Okay, that looks nice and blended there. I'm just going to go back into that first brush that I used and just go over it, blend it out real quick. Okay. Then I think I'm going to go into the Necessary Neutrals palette, and I'm going to start playing with the shade Blush. It's like pink, pink, pink. And I'm going to lay it down with kind of a flat brush first. It is a shimmer, or like a sheen, I guess I should say. And then we'll start with this on kind of the center of the lid. You guys can't see that very well. So we'll keep that on the center. And just kind of, I'm just like patting it where I want it, not really blending it a lot. It's very pretty. So just on the center, like I mentioned, and then looking at my shades here, I think I'm gonna go into the shade Kava a little bit. It's this one right up here by the kind of burnt orange color. This is more of just like a champagne shade. And I'm going to put that on the inner corner. So it'll blend from like a neutral to a pink. And then I'll go back over it with blush a little bit. Okay, and then just to make sure that that is nice and blended on the edges, I'm going to go back in with my M433 brush in the shade Brulee from the Romantic palette. And just kind of add a little bit and blend that blush shade in with it. just so we're nice and seamless. Okay, so super simple. It looks a lot more pink in my mirror than it does on there. Then I'm gonna take, let's see here. I'm gonna swatch this color. This is the shade Haze. So it's a little bit on the purpley side. So let's do a little bit of that, kind of built up into the outer V a little bit. And I'm just gonna use an Morphe ME36 brush. It's like kind of a pencil brush. And I'm gonna start to pack that on the outer edge of my eye, close to my lash line. That's pretty good. Doesn't look as purple on the eye. I'm just going to place it on both sides of my eye and then I'm going to blend it out. Keeping these darker colors closer to the lash line can help your lashes look fuller, and it gives you, especially keeping it towards the outer edge, gives you that little bit of like a cat eye effect where it just kind of, I don't know the word I was looking for when I was doing that motion, but I think you know what I mean. Okay, so then I'm going to take my M433 again, no product on it, and I'm just going to blend that towards the outer V, kind of like flicking it that way. Sorry, my mirror's right here. So kind of flicking it out a little bit, and then the same thing on this side. Then I'm going to just make sure that it's blended in with Brulee. Give you guys an up close version. I'm going to take Brulee a little bit more towards the center of my eye, and I'm going to use a different brush, and it's going to be a Morphe M506, kind of like a smaller fluffy brush. And to put a little bit more definition, like here. Crave is whining. He's in his kennel. So kind of giving the illusion of a cut crease without actually doing a cut crease. Okay, then I'm going to go to the inner corner highlight, and the shade that I'm going to use will be from the Romantic palette, and the shade Moto is so pretty. It's like super reflective, and I'm going to pop that on the inner corner here. It kind of gives like a purpley vibe, like iridescent. And then I'm going to take that shade really lightly just under the brow bone because it is really intense. And just leave that there. So I'm just going to like look at everything. I feel like that needs to be blended a little bit more. So I'm going to take the shade Brulee and a little bit of Haze, not much. And just kind of see how that looks like it's not meshing well together. I'm going to fix it. Same thing on this side here. Okay, so that's it for the eyes, like on the top half at least. I'm going to go ahead into my face, and I'm going to use my primer, the Coola Classic primer, the Dawn Patrol. I've been using this for about the past week or two or so, and I really do like it. I've used up all of my samples of the Ilia foundation. I have yet to order that foundation yet, but I will be. I really loved it. Okay, now that my face is all nice and red, gonna go into foundation. I'm just gonna go back to my Beauty Counter foundation. I'm super pale, super light right now. And the shade that I'm gonna use is the shade Linen. And I'm going to use my beauty sponge. So this is an e.l.f. Cosmetics sponge, and I've been liking this more than my Real Techniques complexion sponge. So I'll show you guys how much coverage you can get. As you can see, like, my face is very red. I just took a shower earlier. So I'll do like half my face because I know I get a lot of questions like on the coverage of this. And I feel like it blends the best with a sponge. Depending on the brush that you use though. I do love using my Sigma F80 brush. And that's the only other one that I use to apply this foundation. Because I feel like this foundation is so moisturizing that it can look like streaky. But here's the Sigma F80. So a dense brush like this is what you want to use for this foundation, or a sponge. So this is just one light layer of the foundation. As you can see, I still see my freckles, and then you can still see a little bit of acne marks, but I go over that. My lips are really dry. And I love this foundation. And the sponge is kind of like a weird sponge. It's like not smooth. It's like got a texture to it. But it's so soft. And it blends everything really well. And $4. It's like, heck yeah. I'm probably going to do one more layer. And I have a new brow product. I'm so excited. I told you guys that I've been trying to look for a brow product, and I've been using the Lily Lolo in the shade Medium, and I'm just not happy with it. I miss my Anastasia brow powder, so I think I found my eyebrow product. Okay, and to make things go a little quicker, I'm going to use my brush to blend down my neck. Like, this foundation is pretty light and it doesn't even match my neck and my chest. Okay, then I'm going to go in with concealer. I'd rather go and like spot conceal where I need rather than like pile on the foundation. So I'm going to take a mix between the shade 22 and 11 and buff that in where I need it in my Uncover Up concealer. So along my chin. And I'm just like really lightly doing this. I just watched, I don't know if you guys like really watch YouTube or who you like to watch, but I don't subscribe to James Charles, but he always pops up on like my feed. And he had a video where Mario did his makeup, like Makeup by Mario, like Kim Kardashian's makeup artist. And I had to watch it. And Mario did brows first, concealer before foundation, and my mind is blown. So I'm just like, I don't know what to do with this information. Where'd that black come from? I just had black all over my face. But yeah, he did that and I was like, oh my god, like you're doing it backwards. Or am I doing it backwards? But yeah, he did all of the concealer first, kind of like all up under this area like I am here, and then he went in with foundation. So I want to try and watch a few more makeup artist actual makeup artists on YouTube and not like beauty influencers, because the technique is so different. And I just feel like with me, when I do like bridal makeup, I feel like that is more along like the beauty influencer type of makeup, depending on the look that you're going for anyways, which I don't know, I'm just intrigued by the like actual makeup artist looks. Okay, so I'm using my Hint Beauty Concealer underneath my eyes for that full coverage. My lips disappeared. And then it's so hard to blend with a sponge and a brush with that concealer, so I'm going to use my sponge to just pat over where I already blended it out. I'm already seeing spots where I need to touch up. Like the inner corner of my eye is like so dark. Actually, I can use my brush. It was a little easier. Okay. Then I'm going to set my under eye area, and you should know my found palette, my broken found palette. And I'm going to use the lightest shade in the palette, which is the shade Shell, and that's going to be for under my eyes. Just like lightly dust that. It's like the only thing that I like right now to set my under eye makeup. I'm out of my Beauty Counter translucent powder, so, and I've been trying to use up my Lawless Seal the Deal powder too before I buy anything else, because I'm trying to save some monies. So Lawless Seal the Deal powder to set the face, and just using a big fluffy brush. And put that all over. Then I'm going to go in with my bronzer. Oh, and I have a new bronzer. I forgot about that. I got a sample of the 100% Pure Cocoa Pigmented Bronzer. And I thought this was a matte bronzer, and it's not. But we're going to make it work, because I really wanted to like try it on my face. I've just swatched it. So I'll see if it swatches at all for you guys. That is the bronzer. And it has just a little bit of sheen in it. It's kind of on the reddish side. So I hope that I don't go overboard when I apply it. We'll see. It's so hard when they send samples of bronzers that are pressed bronzers, because it's like a powder and you have to try and not get it everywhere. And holy crap, I need to blend that. Blend, blend, blend. Okay, I don't think I like that bronzer. Not for this look anyways. So, I don't have many, oh yes I do. I'm going to use my Beauty Counter. So, I'm going to use the shade, this is the #1 matte bronzer. I'm going to use that right now because I don't have any other like light shade of bronzers. And I'm going to go back to my other brush. Hitting the outsides of my face. I'll have to do like a different review of that bronzer. I just was not feeling that. Sorry, I keep like rocking back and forth on my little chair here, and it keeps making noise. I love bronzer so much, if you didn't already know. Then I'm going to take my contour. I'm going to take the middle shade, and that's going to go down my nose. And blend it out. And then I'm kind of contoured just a little bit. And I'm just going to dip in between the two dark shades. It's amazing just like how you're able to add shadows to your face and it makes your face look thinner. Makeup is just so much fun. Okay, that is it for the contour then. Then I'm going to go into blush, and to keep with the pinky vibe, I'm going to use the shade Sorbet. This is a new satin powder blush from Beauty Counter, and it has a little bit of reflective properties in it. And they're super pigmented. Such a pretty color. Such a pretty pink. Then for highlight, I totally forgot I even had this. It's the Beauty Counter Pearl Glow Illuminating Highlighter. So it's like a cream, and I do need to scrape a little bit of this off because it needs to be warmed up before you apply it. So I'm just going to scrape some off and put it on the back of my hand, and then kind of warm it up a little bit and apply it to the high points of my face. I've been really into cream highlighters because it's such a natural look to the skin rather than like a blinding highlight that you get from like powder. So I really like these cream highlighters, and it's just like the most subtle and I really enjoy that. Okay, we need to do eyebrows before I forget about it because I almost forgot. So it is the Lily Lolo Eyebrow Duo in the shade Light. Let me tell you, this is not light. I got it and I was a little disappointed in the package because I was just like, this is not going to work because it looks super light, but it is, I would say, a medium shade, honestly. So I'm going to use my Morphe E29, and it's just kind of like an angled brush, and I'm going to quickly fill these babies in. So this is definitely a cool tone powder, which I was super happy about because the medium shade was so warm. Sorry, I just realized how bad that I was angled. But yeah, the medium shade is just way too warm. And it really pulled out like the red in my hair, and I was not a fan. But this, I mean, it looks like a dark powder. So I was pleasantly surprised, and I think this is my new go-to because this is comparable to the Anastasia Medium Brown Duo. And I use that one and the taupe all the time, so. I don't know if this shade would work if you have blonde brows, like if you're looking for a light eyebrow. I don't know what other brand to recommend, but this is definitely, as you can tell, a darker product. Almost done. Okay, there's that. Then I'm going to go onto my bottom lash line, and I'm going to go into the shade Brulee. It was that transition shade that we used earlier, and I'm going to use a Morphe E17. Actually, I'm going to use a Morphe E18. It's a little bit smaller and thicker. And that is going to go all along my lower lash line. I'm not being really precise as I'm not even looking in the mirror. And then you want to take it and like connect it to the top. Okay, then I'm gonna go into the shade Haze again from the Necessary Neutrals palette. And I'm going to use a flat definer brush and I'm gonna push that shadow up to my lower lash line. I am a shadow liner type of person. I do not like using pencils because I feel like I can make an eyeshadow look as soft or as harsh as I want it to, and I feel like that just works well for me. So then I'm going to go into my Morphe M433 that I used earlier, and I'm going to take the shade Brulee again, very, very lightly, tap a lot of it off, and I'm just going to blend that. This Valentine's Day kind of turned into like a glam look. Oh well. And then I'm going to use, my light's moving, eyelash curler. Give it a few squeezes. And it also turned into a long video, I'm sorry. Then I'm going to use my Honest Beauty mascara. I think I have the right one. I have my new one and my old one both, yeah. Both in my makeup bag currently. I think this is the old one. Nope, it's the new one. But I lay down the primer first, and then you're supposed to wait 30-ish seconds. So I'm going to apply my lower. And then go into the top. I'm kind of digging this eye look. Pinks are never one that I usually go for. But I think that looks pretty. I love this mascara so much. And then lastly, because my lips are so dry, I'm going to be using a new lip sheer that I got from Beauty Counter. I'm excited about it. It is the lip sheer in the shade Lily. It's a really pretty pink shade, and I'm excited to use it. That is really pretty. And I don't normally wear pinks either. And then I'm going to use a brush just to make sure that I have that even. I think that's really a really pretty color. So if you're into like light pinks, and this is more, like I said, a lip sheer. It's not like an intense lipstick. That's really pretty. I love that. So that's the shade Lily. Okay, this is my finished Valentine's Day look. I think I've remembered everything. Yeah. So I really like the way that this turned out. Again, I did use a few different palettes. I know that's not the easiest when you're trying to like copy a makeup look,